Right now, for people that maybe awaken or asleep, I'm not sure, because it's very important, the topic I'm talking about.
Or asleep?
Yeah, to the consciousness of their world. You know, I ask you if you think your thoughts are original, or are they put there by other system, or do you think for yourself? Do you think critically?
I think for myself.
Okay, do I ask you? Do you understand the element of water? Water. Do you know it has to always be contained? You know it always has to be contained no matter what. And it always keeps its level. You see how leveled it is? No matter where you move it, it just stays level. Do you know it's the element of water and that's how it works? So how can we live in a globe?
How can we do it?
How can we be living on a globe?
On a globe?
Globe, yeah, like a ball.
Well,
Because you do think that or you don't think that.
yeah.
So I'm saying that's something that a lot of people do think, and I don't blame you for it because I went to school, you know, I graduated, what I've been taught, the physics that have been taught to me has been that. But I've come now to realize that things in life are not working, they don't make sense. Yeah.
We're not living in a globe.
Oh, we're definitely living in a plane.
In a plane?
In a plane.
When you say plane,
A plane is something that is always leveled. You know when planes, there's planes that, like even, you know, there's fighter planes that go 1,000 or over 1,000 miles an hour, and they keep their level. They never dip the world is not like a sphere, like they'll go flying on top of the water and they will never be dipping because the water doesn't curve. Water doesn't curve. So you could go over the water straight, flying over it, and you will never have to dip the nose of a plane. So all this
basically, when instead of we're going around, we're going straight.
Yeah, so we could also circumnavigate a plane, because if you go around the tree, or if you go around the continents, you're still doing a whole circle around everything. But it doesn't mean it's a sphere, because you can't ever navigate from north to south, and this has never been done ever. If you look up north to south navigations, it says it can't be done because it's too cold to go over the Antarctic. It's too cold. And then over there, there's a treaty that people can't go past that. People can't go past the Antarctic. With all the countries till 2040, that is off limits, you know? So we could just... So this is a natural science. Water is a natural element that we could test, repeat, and observe.
Does that mean you don't believe in God?
So what I'm saying, that we're full of beliefs. We're full of beliefs. You know, and beliefs is assumptions that we take for blunt leaps of faith. We just say, of course, if this guy believes in and everybody else believes in it, it should be true. You know, so
I don't believe in what everybody believes.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell people. Don't do that, because
but there's a lot of things scientists cannot create. Nor the heaven and earth. They make the car, the house, the bench, so you can plant a tree. You can create babies. But there's one thing they cannot grow to man, and that's God alone. If they could have done that, trust me, niggers, maybe Latino, Mexican, the only white men, a lot of pretty white babies that they create.
Do you know why white people don't like darker pigment people? Not because of their tradition, not because of that, because we are the dominant species. Do you know that if a black man or a black woman has a baby with a white person, that baby's gonna come out black? Because it's dominant species, you're a dominant gene. And just by you existing, you kill them. And they don't want that. Just by you living, you kill them, you know?
Well, as we can put this white babies.
No, I mean, I'm saying you're the dominant gene. So a lot of people, and it doesn't even come down to that, because we live in a continent of slaves. We're more continents of outside that we don't even know what's there.
Right.
We could just be living in a fake world here, working hard for those people in the outside areas, you know, and be clueless, thinking we live in a ball and we have nowhere to go. Everything's been discovered when there's more stuff to be discovered. And they say, oh, we have so much technology. Look at the buses, look at the phones, look at the computers. That's enough technology. We're so technological. We went to the moon, and they could lie to us by going to the moon with Hollywood media. You know how technological they have the movie nowadays? They could fake that in the movie, in the news too.
You don't think they went to the moon?
Oh, there's no way. There's been proof that the moon is see-through now. They have pictures with high power telescopes showing that the moon is see-through. You can see stars through the moon. You can see when the moon is in the blue sky, you can see the blue through the moon.
Who said that?
There's pictures already out there with that of high power telescopes with blue through the moon, saying and the moon gives off a not cold air, but cold power. Like the sun gives out warm power, because they put 2 cups of water with thermometers, one next to the moonlight and one also right next to it, but covered with no moonlight, and it's colder in the moonlight because the moonlight gives off cold. That's why we live in a yin yang, and the sun and the moon are so little, so when they're far away, it looks like it's nighttime, but when they come back close, it's already daytime again. And we see it dip and go up and down, not because it's going around the world.
No, the earth did.
No, I'm saying no. It doesn't. It looks like it's going around the world, like down, because of the atmosphere becomes like a lens. So when you put a lens to an object and I push it away, push this object away, it's gonna look like it's dipping instead of going away because of the lens. You know. So that's the same effect. There's a lot of science that already proves how our world works. They just push this belief with the media, with the movies. We're going to Mars. With all this magic, all this stuff that.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe in beliefs. I believe in things we can see. I believe in a woman giving a baby. That's magic.
See it, right?
I could see that. I could see that magic. But a woman could do it. I could be like, here's the baby. But you can't prove.
You don't see it. You don't believe it. Okay.
Because our books have been programmed by our masters. But the King James, the rulers of these people, of us, these people are manipulating our minds, and they write the books. They write the books. And you know what? A lot of people don't want to question this because it destroys a lot of their beliefs and a lot of their structure. But you shouldn't be scared of that. You're a critical thinking human being. You could rebuild yourself like this and know where you're standing.
So what's so bad about the book?
There's nothing bad about any books, because you could always get people's knowledge through books, and then see truth and see lies, But you could judge from it. You don't have to bluntly believe exactly what they tell you. You could judge for yourself as a critical thinker, But these people have always been ridiculed, have always been pushed away,
So who do you think is the one responsible for this flat earth?
These people are hiding behind religions. These bad people are hiding behind Judaism. They're hiding behind what the religion of the Pope is. Jesuit priests. The first Jesuit scientist priest was the one that brought out the new globe Earth. It was a Jesuit scientist. So they all comes from religion. The imagine of a globe Earth. So if you have faith in God, have faith in God because you believe it, not because you have to go to a church and give money to them and then they tell you all this nonsense. No, you believe your faith, because you have power in you. You are a powerful person, And they try to make us feel that we come from evolution, that we're space monkeys, that we evolved from monkeys and we're in space.
They're idiots.
Yeah, they're idiots. When they say that African civilizations are uncivilized. No, African civilizations are way more civilized than European countries way before. Way more civilized back in the day. It's now that they try to reverse everything on us. They try to confuse us and lie to us. That's why I tell people to think for yourself, and it comes thinking where you live at. It's not, oh yeah, I live in a globe, doesn't matter. No, it does matter where you live at. It does matter because everything is built around that. The stars, dinosaurs, other planets.
Do you believe in dinosaurs?
No, all that stuff is fake. All that stuff is recreated. You go to a museum, everything has to be fake because the other bones are too delicate to put out. So come on, and they only have 1 or 2 pieces of bones, and they could be whale bones or elephant bones, or So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what they tell us, and it comes lie after lie after lie after lie, and the lies don't stop. And we start off from a small stem of knowing where we live and where we stand, and that we're the center, and this world is here because it's built for us, for our human beings. We're pretty much God's candy. We're His baby if there is a God, and if there is a God. Because right now, I'm trying to rebuild mentality from step 0, so we have to question everything. But if there is a higher being that's an intelligent designer that designed this so perfectly?
There is.
You know, and if he did do this and just left it alone to other people to manage, he's a pretty bad God, because
It's not really. He left it for us to manage.
yeah, but he left it for evil people to manage and to flip, because that's what has happened. That's what has happened now.
And that's why the evil people are going to hell.
But at this moment, you know, I don't
believe in heaven and hell. Like,
I don't either. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, it's something that when you die, there's a guy with a
That
beard,
is
a
not
white guy.
fine.
There's a guy white with a beard saying, "Oh, let's see, you're going to hell or you're going to heaven." Oh, you know, but you know, it starts from the earth. So I'm saying, you're not gonna find the truth of life in 1 minute.
After death, you'll find out the truth of life.
No, but I'm saying,
Death is not final.
I'm saying, I want to find the truth before we die.
Oh, yes, you better.
I want to.
You better.
You know, so this is the method, this is the journey that we're all in, and it's reasonable thinking, like reasonable thinking. Just no magic, no fairy tales. What you see, what you
World
touch,
is round.
yeah,
People do go to the moon.
yeah. That's there's superhumans that go and come back like nothing.
Not superhuman. They're machine. You know, now you have machine that can go so much depth.
But you see how much
underwater.
belief we put into these people, because we believe them almost like a religion.
I don't believe it. I've seen it. It's something real. So they just make a racket.
It's real in
to
TV.
a particular level and then come back down and say, oh, we have been to the moon. What you have on the YouTube?
It's a channel called Awakening from Mind Control. So Awakening from Mind Control is pretty much, it also talks about health, how we're not meant to eat meat, really. Look at our teeth. You know, we're vegetarian, built for you know, so all this stuff is pretty much treats. It's like we're eating fruit roll up, you know, all
You
this
have
stuff.
canine teeth too, like
No, but you know, these teeth are built just for tearing fibers from greens also, you know, from coconut.
I'm a meat eater.
No, I
guess I'm one of
understand.
that.
We're all. I love eating meat too, and it's hard for me to stop, you know. And I don't stop, you know. But we have to eat 80% more vegetables than meat.
Yeah.
You get
fair
me?
enough.
That, and they have to be raw, also, you
It
know,
doesn't have to be.
because the minerals and elements are best conserved. Like if you liquefy or chop up a vegetable and eat it like that, it's a lot better than you boiling it in hot water or frying it, or you know, and taking all that. If you taking an orange, cutting it in half and put it in the fryer and then eating it, it doesn't make any sense, you know. So you know, you have to do the same thing with the fruits and vegetables. Eat them raw. The best way you can, put some olive oil, salt. I don't know, but you know, but it's for your health, you know. And it does, keep eating the stuff you're eating, but just don't forget to eat the raw greens. You know, don't forget about the raw greens and about the exercise and about, you know, loving yourself and knowing that you're special and beautiful and that nobody else could change that. You know, so you know, I'm bringing back value to human beings. You know, like
Yeah, you can bring back value to human beings. That you know, you can be a nice motivational speaker.
yeah.
But a lot of people is gonna disagree on you when you say the world is.
And, you know, I understand that. You know.
Remember that movie?
And you know, and you know, a lot of religious people, a lot of people that are religious that could compare to them. That I'm not really. I was confirmed and everything Catholic, right? But I'm not longer religious. Maybe I'm spiritual, but I'm not no longer religious. But I do compare with religious people. Hey, you know, Jesus, I used to be ridiculed and told that he's a liar, that he's not a savior. So how can you ridicule your own brother
Right.
for trying to save you? You know? So how can you ridicule people for trying to tell you that you've been lied to and that and show you the right path?
But
So
the thing is that
so
when
you know,
you
it's
come into somebody and say, okay, you've been lied to. What's the proof? Why you say I've been lied to? Because
I mean,
if
that-
you can create a plane to go straight, as you say, straight across the earth. Why can't you create something to go up? I don't think it's just.
but there could be a
because
limit.
back in the day-
They've actually have high altitude air balloons that go up and stop.
Right.
They hit something like a dome. You know, and the dome doesn't have to dip.
That's true.
But
That's
you know,
not true. If I had money, I would have sent you.
Do you-
I would pay for a trip for you to go on the moon.
do you know that there's been a trips to underwater so deep that they hit a kind of water that they can't go because it's so buoyant?
So,
It's so buoyant. That's where buoyancy and density, not gravity, comes into play. You know, it's so buoyant that metal couldn't go in there. So maybe there's something so buoyant, some kind of liquid up there so buoyant that we can't go through either. Maybe that's because we have already. I'm telling you, they have. Go check online. High
okay,
altitude.
this is one.
Because look, I'm telling you, look. If you think a plane could take off from Australia from under the world and another plane could take off from Antarctica, I mean from the North Pole backwards like this, you know, and they don't have no pictures of that. They don't have planes going backwards in the Earth. Like I show a lot of people. Look, if this,
So this is one flat Earth.
yep.
So,
And just because there's mountains or chairs or blocking a lot of views doesn't mean it's, you know, it's just stuff from obstructing our views, you know? Doesn't mean it's not straight, you know? So like this is what you think you live in, you know? A globe like this. You know, something with like the cities all around, you know, and something really fictional, you know?
yeah, this is real fictional because you're saying it looks like this is the world and all these buildings sticking out on it.
And that's what you think you live in.
No, I don't live like that.
That most people think they live. You know, these are pictures that they show from NASA of the world. Do you think those are real photographs?
Yeah, these are real photographs.
Do you know they admit they're all CGI images? You know why? Because they say the world is so big that they have to take it from part and part and then put it together
From
again.
different part. That's why you have day and night.
But there's no real.
Your explanation of
Mission in the
day
picture.
and night.
But
the sun rises in the east and sets in the
the
west.
thing is, it's perspective.
When the world turns, when one little bit about whatever you want to call it, social study or science, whatever. When the world turns, you have the moon and you have the sun. So when it turns, it takes 1 year to spin totally around the axis, and it takes 24 hours to go around the sun or the moon, whatever, something like that. So when one side hit the sun, the other side hit. That's why you have the North Pole and wherever so cold.
I understand.
Because they're not getting.
Now I understand our educational system
Mhm.
works
So and you're still
works
saying it's
works
not.
works globally. You know, our educational system works globally, and they teach us all this all over the world, and this is facts all over the world. There's a curvature.
So why?
There's a math of curvature for a globe that we live in, which is 8 miles inches squared, which means every mile there's 8 inches of curvature, right? Do you
So
understand
why
that?
you think if you have something so beautiful, flat, nice, why you think they want to change that?
Oh, of course, to limit our range of where we live. If they tell us there's only continents that exist, and they limit our geographical expansion, they control us. They could kill us and just keep us in there and kill us, so we just stay in there, and then they could just be living around the other continents and keep us
Kill us, yes, but I don't think
keep us in a cage. You know, keep us in that cage and not you know, they'll keep us in a globe.
it's
Not.
more like some because you have people like that.
I know that's a crazy thing, something to think, but it's very well possible if that's what they want. These perverted people that want to take control. But like I was mentioning before, do you know there's a curvature? There's a math for curvature of a sphere, and it's 8 miles squared. And you know the Statue of Liberty could be seen from 60,000 miles away, and that curvature, it should be more than 200 miles of curvature, and you still see Lady Liberty from 60,000 miles away.
60,000 miles away is like from where to where?
It's regardless to the math of when you bring it back to the math of the curvature, it doesn't make any sense.
It's just like
Oh, like do you know?
I'm going to use the word curvature as I said.
Yeah.
What's the country name? Bermuda.
The islands.
No, the country Bermuda.
Oh, okay.
It's under the British colony, not the Bermuda
Okay.
Island. The Bermuda, right here? Gary. Bermuda, right? The one where, not Bermuda, Bahamas, but Bermuda country. One of the main reasons, and maybe because, as you say, it's curvature, they're so successful in their battles because they have a tower, a lookout tower, and they could see everything around it. And when you look at the map, you know, the world map, you can see where Bermuda is at, like up, you know, somewhere like the North Pole and stuff like that. So just like how you could see the Statue of Liberty from 60 whatever thousand whatever. It's the same thing with Bermuda, because whenever the ships them comes in, they were able to, you know. But,
That's what I'm trying to say, but if you count the curvature that is implanted by the scientists of our world, it doesn't make any sense. The higher you go, we've gone 120,000 feet up in the air, and we still see no curvature of our land. we see a straight horizon. That's why the horizon is called horizon. It's horizontal. You know,
Right, so why you want to see curvature? What does curvature prove?
a curvature will prove a ball Earth.
When you're on the earth is so big. When you're on the earth, there's no way you're
That's what
going
I'm saying. They make us feel small. They make us feel
you're
significant.
very tiny because we're
But I'm
in
saying-
that big hands of God.
I know how that psychology goes into us. That psychology of us being little goes into us. Trust me. Of us being insignificant in the universe goes into us and makes us less worthy. Trust me. You know, this stuff that we believe makes us a lot less weak, a lot more weak, because we think there's a lot more stuff greater than us. When we're one of the greatest things ever to exist,
Because God made us in His
But-
likeness.
But if you keep praising other stuff and other stuff that they implanted in you, and don't think critical thinking of what you see, like water, and water always has to be contained and keep it level, and you don't trust your eyes to water, and what you know that it doesn't stick to a ball, and you don't trust your eyes, and you keep thinking what they tell you. That's what I'm trying to separate people from blunt beliefs and leaps of faith of what you've been told and pictures that could have been manipulated and lied to and shown to you, and don't believe in that and think for yourself. And you know, and I know that's a little mind blowing, but you'll sleep a lot better and you'll become a lot more free. Okay. All right, Miss. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna catch you around. If you want to check my channel, on YouTube, it's called Awakening from Mind Control.
Okay, awakening from my out.
Awakening from Mind Control. Okay. Thank you.
Well,